I'm gonna bring you back to a time when we all thought the world was shitty because we didn't know any better, and it was 2011, the year of disillusionment, and I feel like I have a lot of gravitas in calling any year disillusionment because I'm a Jew, and we know. It was a very difficult year for me. I was 29. I was going through my Saturn return. If you know anything about astrology, it's when your world they know. It's when your world flips upside down and you're like, what the fuck? I was disillusioned about everything in my life. Love. My boyfriend became my ex-boyfriend. When he said to me, he looked at me and he said, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And I said, okay, bye. My career went from doing very exciting things for cash money to writing sample SAT practice questions for a Korean SAT tutoring company. So needless to say, I was not feeling great and didn't know what direction I was in. I needed to find myself, and the harder thing was I didn't feel like I was being seen by anybody. I was on 3 dating apps. Nobody went out with me. I was going out trying to do auditions. Nothing was happening. I was writing scripts. Nobody was reading, and I just wanted to be seen. And I needed a reset, and as a nice Jewish girl from Beverly Hills, I was like, there's one place to do that. It's called Burning Man. So I got in the car, I went up the I-5 north, and I was certain that when I got to Burning Man, I was gonna throw a stone, hit someone, we'd fuck, orgy, sex, happy times, and also a new understanding about myself and my chakras. But the road to Burning Man was fraught with many an obstacle. It started when my car died on an off-ramp to Redwood City in Silicon Valley, and because I was broke, I just left it there. I couldn't fix it. I didn't know what to do. I got a ride, luckily, in a van to Burning Man. I got there my day started at like 7 a.m. 2 days before. It took 3 days. I finally got there, and it was like 1:30 in the morning. I get dropped off on Esplanade, which is like the Main Street USA of Burning Man's Black Rock City. And I had to pack everything that was in my now dead car in Redwood City into a large backpack. I'm talking 7 days worth of water and food and tutus. It was very heavy, and I strapped it on my back, and I had to go to the info tent to find where my camp was. I start trudging across this desert, and luckily two guys who were like late teens, super high on mescaline and running a rickshaw service came to me, as you do, and they said, you look like you need a ride, and I said, sure do, guys, and I got in the rickshaw, and they took me to center camp, and I get out with my incredibly heavy backpack. It's now almost 2 a.m. I am exhausted, I am confused, I am not high, I am not in an orgy, I am looking for my camp. And that's when it happens. I trip on a camping wire and completely topple over. I now take you inside the hospital at Burning Man. There is a hospital where there's only 2 patients. It's me and a guy who is like 6'7", 280, could totally be an extra in any episode of Game of Thrones. He is getting fluids injected into him through an IV. His girlfriend, who wears a fur bikini, comes in and looks at him, and she's like, this is what you get for chugging whiskey out of a goddamn ram's horn. And he looks at her, and he said, I swear to God, woman, be gone. And he takes the IV line out of his arm, rips it, blood squirting, throws it on the ground, and walks out, and it is just me. My foot is elevated on a stack of diapers. This hospital is very eerily illuminated. Everything is also covered with playa dust, which is an alkaline sand. I have no idea how it's sanitary. And I'm completely alone, there's no cell service, and I'm just waiting for the doctor to come back with the x-rays because there's also x-rays at Burning Man, who knew? And just waiting for her to come back, and I'm praying that everything's okay. Because the one thing that helped me keep my shit moderately together in 2011, year of disillusionment, was running. And I was a Zoftig young girl. I did not run much. I wanted to make up for it at the age of 29, so I trained for a marathon. It was in 3 weeks, and I really wanted to make it across the finish line. I needed something to feel validated about. The doctor comes in and immediately starts throwing a cast on my leg, and I'm like, wait a minute, are we sure it's broken? I mean, you're a Burning Man doctor. And she shows me the x-rays, and very clearly my foot is broken in not one, but 3 places. I completely break down. I have no health insurance. This is before Obamacare. I have no job. I also need to drive to get to jobs, and it was my right foot, which you need for things like driving. And I am sobbing to this doctor, and I was like, and then the last thing that I say in my like snot-filled rant is like, who's gonna find me sexy now? It turns out quite a lot of people. So I get home because I trade a ride to Reno with a date with a random guy from another camp, and I have to move in with my parents because their condo is on the first floor. I'm in a Hollywood 2-story walk-up, and I'm vlogging because it's 2011. We're all vlogging. That's what we're doing, and about nothing, because that's what you vlog about. And I was doing these comedy vlogs. I had 49 subscribers, thank you. And I popped a couple of my mom's Tylenol with codeine. I put my leg up on the couch, and I did a vlog called Breaking My Foot. It was not funny. I talked about watching Rachel Ray High and eating peanut butter filled pretzels, and I was like, you know what? At least I put something out in the world. You can't think the world is full of shit if you're not participating, if you're not going for it. At least I'm doing something, right? I close the laptop. I'm expecting, 40 hits. Wake up the next morning, I turn it on, I log in, I don't have 40 hits. I have 40,000 hits. Right? What? But also, thanks for the Google dollars. But also, why? I rewatch it because I'm like, am I a brilliant comedian? Are they gonna make a show about me called Mrs. Maisel? It's not true, I'm not. And that's not the reason. I go to, there's like a map where you can see where people are watching your videos. It's highly concentrated in Liechtenstein, Germany, Brazil, and Japan. I start getting nervous. I go to the section where it tells you where your video has been posted and reposted, and there it is, castedangels.com. What is Casted Angels? That's when I get the first of many, many fan letters in my inbox at YouTube. And the subject line is, you are my favorite porn star. Oh, what? What? I am wearing my clothing in my vlog about pretzels. But thank you for thinking I'm sexy. And I open up this email, and he's like, Hayley, which, like, I'm so glad we're on a first name basis. Hayley, I cannot tell you what a sensation you have become in our community, in quotes, which, like, I stopped breathing, and it's so rare for us to have a witty, charismatic, and beautiful girl as yourself. When you make your next video, I have a request. Would you wiggle your toe? And I go, what the actual fuck? The emails pour in, and the comment section is it's a gold mine, my friends, with many a request. My favorite of which are like, lots of wiggle your toes, crutch around. Can you, in your next video, will you crutch around? And can you paint your toenails and put a sock on it? And I am like, I'm like, what is happening? I go back to the first guy who emailed me, and I was like, what is happening? And he says, oh, well, you've really hit a nerve in the recreational orthotics fetish community. which to us lay people out there is a caste fetish porn community in which people masturbate to people wearing casts. And I was getting real popular. So I take my crutches over to my mom because she was like, why do you have so many hits? It's a terrible vlog. Because she's one of my 49 subscribers. And also, what are these comments about? I'm concerned people are masturbating. And I say, I mean, I'm sure they're masturbating, but what am I gonna do? And she was like, well, they're paying attention, aren't they? You're getting that big Google money, right? What are you gonna do? And I was like, well, I mean, there's only one thing I can do, and that was make a sequel video set to Hot Chocolate's I Believe in Miracles Since You Came Along, You Sexy Thing. I did, and I did fucking everything for these bitches. I crutched around, I painted my toenail, I put a motherfucking sock on it. You could hear the jizz in like Rio de Janeiro, like psh, 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 all over the globe. And I was riding high from this, and I'm getting a lot more comments, a lot more fan mail, and I checked back in with fan number 1, we'll call him, and I was like, you know, I was having a tough time. I really appreciate you reaching out to me. And he goes, we're thrilled about it. In fact, I am also run a message board on castedangels.com. Would you do exclusive content for them? And I know quite a few guys want to buy your cast when you take it off. And you could sell it for a pretty penny on YouTube, on eBay. And I was like, maybe. I don't know. And I said, you know, what is it? What is it about this fetish that's so hot? And he was like, it's like bondage and, you know, female in trouble, distressed lady, but also foot fetish. And I have to tell you, we're really the nicest guys in the world, except for the guys who are into amputees. Those guys are the stalkers. Be careful. And I realized I didn't want to do this anymore. So I deleted the videos, I closed the account, and someday my son, who is 12 weeks old, is gonna Google me. I'm gonna come up in a lot of ways. And I'm gonna leave you with this, all right, my advice. When you are feeling like you are nothing, when you are feeling disillusioned with the world and where you wanna be, go and make something, go and say something, put yourself into the world. Because somewhere in the 7 billion people in the world, somebody's gonna masturbate to that. Thank you.